Hey guys, welcome back to Rooted for Resilience. You know, I really don't want to make this video today. I've been struggling with being seen on many levels and stretching myself beyond my comfort zone. I've struggled with perfectionism my whole life. And so it makes it hard for me to find any comfort in my discomfort. I'd rather just not do it sometimes, especially if it really stretches me. And this really stretches me, and I have no frame of reference. I've never done anything like this before. I'm an introvert, so this is really way out of my comfort zone. Trying to figure out how much to disclose about myself, but wanting to be authentically who I am. So that's kind of been on my mind, especially because of just kind of, some of my experiences growing up and all the factors that went into influencing me. If you, I grew up in an addicted family home, and I learned early how to mask, how to be who other people wanted me to be, and to hide parts of myself that I thought were not okay, or I got the message that it wasn't okay, or just what I believed that it wasn't okay, that would be met with rejection. And certainly I grew up in a time that's, um, that, that philosophy, children are to be seen and not heard. And, when you grow up in an addicted family system, there's a lot of emotional neglect where kids' feelings aren't recognized, not acknowledged. And so I've spent a lot of time in my life just kind of hiding my true feelings, and I don't want to hide, and I don't want to um, not be genuinely me. And so that's kind of been on my mind today. Um, who who am I serving? Who is this benefiting? Uh, why am I doing what I'm doing? I know I have a lot of lived experience that helps people. I mean, I've spent my whole adult career in a helping profession, and I've sat with hundreds, if not thousands, of people in the darkest points of their life and being emotionally present for them, and not really knowing how to be emotionally present for myself. And I think that's what the last, certainly the last year and a half has been about. Showing up for myself, believing that my feelings mattered, connecting to my feelings, not trying to push them away or disconnect from how I feel, and honoring those feelings and believing that I had a right to feel the way that I feel. And I've read, I don't remember where I read it, but telling someone how you feel shouldn't lead to an argument, right? We all have a right to feel the way that we feel, and I feel really out of my comfort zone. I do. Uh, yeah, that's kind of how I am. Yeah, but I'm here. I'm doing it. I made a commitment. I didn't do it yesterday. I just didn't have the energy for it, and I'm really finding it hard to find the energy every day to do this, to think about what am I going to talk about, and what um, what message am I trying to convey, and that's going to vary from day to day probably. But really, I've been thinking about um, what it was like for me as um, older in life, um, lesbian, to go through significant transitions after my wife died, and all the transition and the change and the struggles that went along with that, and not really having anyone to look to for guidance and support around that. And while yes, those issues don't matter. Sexuality, it doesn't matter. Those feelings are the same, but the circumstances and the type of support that is available is different in my experience. That's just been my experience. Maybe, hopefully, that wasn't yours. But there was a lot that went into it, and a lot of things that made that whole process even more difficult than it had to be. Things that were outside of my control, and truths that came to light, and some pretty significant betrayal that I experienced at the end of her life. And that was tough. That was hard to get through, and I'll probably talk more about that at some point, because I think that can make the grief even more complicated. And grief is already hard, right? It already, in the best of circumstances, it's hard. But when there's strife and conflict and deception and all of the things surrounding it, it can be even more difficult. And I've had to really work through a lot of that stuff, and then really kind of go deep in the last year and a half, looking at things about myself that I would like to be different, that have um, influenced me in lots of ways, and my choices, and my behavior, and how to overcome some of that. I think honest self reflection is very difficult for most people, to really sit down and look at themselves, and to try to put everyone else out of the picture and ask, what is my part in this? And what are the things about myself that still need healing? For me, I believe that it's an ongoing journey. I don't believe that it ever stops, right? Because we always have room for growth in our lives. We always have opportunity to look deeper within ourselves, to find um, you know things about ourselves that we can improve upon it. And I'm, oh my god, I've been so terrible about being a constant self-improvement project. I laugh at that now, but it's the truth, because I thought mistakenly somehow that there was some destination point, and there's not. There's just the journey, and that's what I'm in now. I'm in a journey. I'm in a transition phase of my life that is hard. And uh, yeah, I'm just trying to get to the other side. I'm trying to not let myself be controlled by fear, and self criticism, and self doubt, and all of those things that can keep us stuck in what can be a sense of safety and security, but not really any growth in it. So, hence why I'm here this afternoon, sitting on my back deck, um, talking to this camera into the void. I don't know if anybody will ever see it. I don't know. But I'm in the process, and I'm trusting the process more than I trust myself. I trust in a power greater than me that will guide me through this process, whatever that looks like, however it turns out. I'm not in control of that. I just made that commitment to myself that I was going to push myself outside of my comfort zone, because there's not any growth there for me, and I want to grow, and I want to be the best version of Debbie that I can be. And so I'm going to keep trying to show up, however imperfect that might be, however I might stumble over words or not know where I'm going or whatever. Sometimes I might have to use notes, and that's okay too. Because sometimes I do get a little scattered when I'm thinking, because it's just stream of consciousness. And one of the things I'm going to work on, I'm going to learn a skill about editing. I don't know anything about editing a YouTube video, so I have a lot of, I think, pretty pictures, videos that I hope to incorporate into future videos, but I got to figure out how to do that. And that's another skill and another area where I have to be uncomfortable and a novice all over again. So just let me know, what is the thing that you are working on in overcoming for yourself? whether that be, like Renee's she'll learn how to swim. Great. And I love that for her. Um, but what is it for you? Is it going to be, I'm going to get out of the house more? I'm going to grow my social circle. I'm going to learn how to do whatever, fill in the blank. I have a lot of adventures planned in my mind. I will see if any of them come to fruition, but I hope you'll come along on the journey with me, because I am pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. It's probably going to be funny as hell, but whatever. I think it's probably going to be and scary and real. I just want to be real. I want to be really who I am, and because I like who I am. So come along, and I'll talk to you soon.